Hi guys, in this video we are going to cover Kurukshetra magazine of the month of December 2018, which is based on the overall theme of science and technology. So we have divided this video into two parts. So this is the first part and let's start our discussion. So the key focus area of this month's magazine is science and technology. And within this science and technology, there are different sub-themes which have been discussed in this magazine. So they have discussed about how science and technology can be applied in the different areas like rural development plans, health sector, education, knowledge management, sanitation, and agriculture. So they have discussed all of these aspects in this particular magazine. So there are different articles dealing with all these aspects, and we are going to cover all these aspects in a manner which is relevant for our examination. So if we talk about modern technology in implementation of rural development plans, then the Ministry of Rural Development has been making some sincere efforts to bring prosperity and well-being to the villages, and for this purpose it has launched different programs as well as schemes. And these programs, they lay greater emphasis on adopting modern technologies, scientific methods and cutting edge techniques so that the desired results of all the rural development schemes can be easily achieved. Now, more specifically, if I talk about the use of technology in the different schemes for rural development, so if we talk about Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. Now, this particular Yojana, as its name suggests, is associated with providing housing for all. And the target is to achieve this objective of housing for all by 2022. And in this particular scheme, we have adopted modern technology in order to ensure transparency as well as increase the pace of the implementation process of this scheme. Further, in each stage of housing construction, information technology based MIS Awas soft app. So this MIS Awas soft app, which is a mobile based app, Awas app and space technology are being used on a large scale for monitoring purpose. So we are using this app for the purpose of monitoring whether the houses they are being constructed properly and in a timely manner or not. Further, the funds which are to be dispersed to the beneficiaries under this particular scheme, they are also being done through the electronic fund transfer mechanism. So again, science and technology is playing key role in this particular scheme. Now, another related aspect is rural housing knowledge network. Now, this particular rural housing knowledge network, it has been started with in collaboration with IIT Delhi, and it was started with the objective to prepare multilingual web portal in the public sector, and the objective was to have a comprehensive nationwide compilation of all the information pertaining to business houses, institutions and practices which are associated with affordable and sustainable solutions of rural housing. So this again is a network associated with rural housing. So here again we can see how the technology is being used for the purpose of rural development. Next is Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. So this particular Yojana is basically associated with construction of roads in the rural sector, and the second phase of this particular scheme has already been started with the objective to improve the existing rural road network. And in this particular Yojana, a mobile application by the name Arambh has been developed. And this particular mobile application helps in collecting the necessary data for preparation of the inventory of the roads. So we can get a clear picture about the different roads in the country. Further, National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, it has issued guidelines on technology initiatives for promoting cost-effective technology in constructing the rural roads using new kinds of materials, waste materials, and the locally available material. And further, Miri Sadak app. So you might have heard about this particular app. So this particular app is in place to resolve the complaints related to Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana roads. Next is the most popular Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, or MG Narega. So this particular scheme, it aims at providing at least 100 days of unskilled manual labor to each family in the form of guaranteed employment. So we have to provide at least 100 days of unskilled manual labor. And under an exclusive initiative called GeoMG Narega, this space technology is being used for the purpose of geotagging of all the assets which are being created through this particular scheme. Further, Jan Manrega, it was launched with a large scale feedback mechanism for the public. So public, they can give their feedback with regard to MG Narega through this particular Jan Manrega. Further, in the case of simplifying the fund flow system, Ministry of Rural Development has launched the National Electronic Fund Management System, which is also being deployed in MG Narega. So here we can see that in all the different aspects pertaining to Manrega, technology is being used for the purpose of improving the effectiveness of this particular scheme. Now let's move forward and talk about digital health services. So this health is another important key application of the science and technology in the rural areas. So let's talk about some key initiatives in this direction. So one of the most important initiatives in this regard is M-Sakshi. Now M-Sakshi, as its name suggests, it is a mobile app, and this particular app, it helps the health workers in providing high quality healthcare to the families which are even in the remotest part of the country. So this is an all-in-one job aid and electronic medical record system. So this helps in performing the jobs of the health workers, and it also is an electronic medical record system which has replaced the paper-based tools, and it has helped the health workers to get access to latest training as well as information. So through this app, the health workers, they can update their skills, they can stay in touch with their supervisors, and they can track and report important data about health issues in their communities. So basically, this is an all-in-all app for the health workers in the country, so that they can hone their skills, they can provide better healthcare services to the families even in the remotest corner of the country. Next is Mobile Academy. Now this Mobile Academy is a free audio training course which is designed to expand the knowledge base of ASHA workers, that is accredited social health activists. This particular academy, it also helps in improving their communication skills, and it is a cost effective, efficient, and at the same time it reduces the need to travel to update their skills. So they need not travel to different centers to improve their skills. They just need to download this particular training course, and they can access the important material with regard to expanding their knowledge on this particular mobile academy. And this particular initiative, it has been launched in Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Uttarakhand. Now another very important initiative is Kilkari app. Now Kilkari app, it delivers free weekly time appropriate 72 audio messages about pregnancy, childbirth, and childcare. So this basically is associated with pregnancy and childbirth. So this particular app, it directly delivers important messages to the family's mobile phones from the second trimester of pregnancy. And this particular app, it has been launched in Jharkhand, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and the high priority districts of Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan in the first phase. So this Kilkari app is playing a key role in all these areas. Next is Anmol, or Auxiliary Nurse Midwife Online. Now this Anmol, it aims to improve the quality, timeliness, and effectiveness of the delivery of services to ensure better healthcare for women as well as children. Now this particular application, it aims at bringing awareness about the different initiatives of the government with regard to health, maintaining the good hygiene, basic healthcare, and precautions. Next is M-Cessation. Now this particular program, it aims at reaching out to those who want to quit tobacco. So those who want to stop tobacco, who want to cease the use of tobacco, these are the ones who are being targeted through this particular program. And it supports them towards successful quitting through text messages which are sent via the mobile phones. So again, this is the use of digital technology for the purpose of improving the health of the country. Next is e-hospital. Now this e-hospital is an online registration services framework portal. So basically this is the portal where people can avail online services such as they can register themselves, they can book an appointment, they can pay fees, they can view their diagnostic reports, and even they can check for the availability of the blood in the government hospitals. So they can do all sorts of stuff on this particular e-hospital portal. And this particular portal, it was introduced by the government of India to connect and empower the people, particularly with regard to the health sector. Next is Mera Aspatal. Now Mera Aspatal, this particular app is an initiative by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and it has been launched to capture the feedback of the patients for the services they are receiving at the hospital through user-friendly multiple channels. Now this collected feedback, it is compiled, it is analyzed, and then it is decided how we can improve the delivery and quality of services in the hospitals of the country. Now next let's talk about using science and technology for building agriculture innovation systems. Now, India needs to rapidly move towards innovation-led agriculture growth. So we have to ensure that our agriculture is not deprived of the innovation component. And further, this has to be achieved with speed, scale, and sustainability. So whatever innovation we are able to achieve now, this should be sustainable over the long run. And we've already benefited from our established Indian agriculture research system, and the precision agriculture, it could be achieved with the use of advanced GPS systems and sensors which can plan our irrigation, which can guide our irrigation. So this is something which we have already achieved, and the farmers, they can have real-time market information by using their mobile communications. And further, we have worked in this direction for a while now, and we have many innovators working in this direction, but we need more innovators which can become active players in the Indian agriculture innovative system, so that when we move beyond, when we move beyond our formal research and innovation systems, we must be having certain key players which are working in those directions and providing their critical inputs for the betterment of the agriculture scenario in the country. So basically the crux is that we need to ensure that the innovation, it is an integral part of Indian agriculture scenario, and we have already worked here, but further we need to increase our efforts. Now in this direction, one of the very important achievements is the setting up of Krishi Vigyan Kendra. So the Indian government has set up a big chain of over 700 Krishi Vigyan Kendras across the country. And this concept of Krishi Vigyan Kendra, this was given by none other than Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, who was the initiator of Green Revolution in the country and the father of Indian agriculture research. And if we talk about the historical perspective, then this Krishi Vikas Kendra, the first KVK, it was set up in Pondicherry during 1974, and this was made possible with the financial support and able guidance of ICAR, that is Indian Council of Agriculture Research. The meaning of Krishi Vigyan Kendra is basically Farm Science Center. So this is going to provide a different scientific knowledge with regard to the farm sector in the country. And about 40% of the farmers, they have reported that after they gained technology from this Krishi Vigyan Kendras, they implemented it automatically. But some of the farmers, like 25%, they did so after the next agriculture season. So these Krishi Vigyan Kendras, they are greatly transforming the lives of the farmers. Now, if we talk about the objectives or the activities which are performed by the Krishi Vigyan Kendras, so they include on-farm testing of new technologies. So they are developing new technologies, they are helping in testing of those technologies, and further frontline demonstration centers. So basically these Kendras, they are the frontline for the farmers where they can have a demonstration about the new techniques and technologies which they can later on employ in their agriculture fields. Another objective is capacity building. So it wants to build the capacity of the farmers in the country. And next is multi-sector support and advisory services. So basically all the areas which are associated with agriculture, be it in any field, the support and advisory is being provided in all those areas by the Krishi Vigyan Kendras. So in a nutshell, we can say that Krishi Vigyan Kendras, they aim at comprehensive rural development and hence the training on employment and income generation activities like wire basket making, tailoring, preservation techniques, agarbatti making, leather bag production, rope making, candle making, etc. They are all provided by these Krishi Vigyan Kendras. So in a nutshell, we can say that they are a multi-sectoral system. Now next, let's talk about technology innovation for soil conservation. So the technology, it can also be used for soil conservation. So let's see how. Now let's start with this quote. If we feed the soil, it will feed us, and only productive soil can support a prosperous people. So this very clearly points out how soil is very, very important for the Indian economy and the country as a whole. Now soil, if we talk about soil, then soil is a dynamic system and it comprises organic and mineral matters. It comprises air, water and living organisms which are continuously interacting. And if we talk about soil health, then this can be defined as the capacity of a specific kind of soil to sustain plant and animal productivity. So a healthy soil would have this capacity to sustain plant and animal productivity. And further, it is also about the quality of maintaining or enhancing water and air quality and supporting human health and habitation, which is a key indicator of the soil health. So this particular concept of soil health, it involves integration of physical, chemical and biological properties of a soil. Now next let's talk about conservation agriculture. Now conservation agriculture, it basically is a system of raising crops without tilling the soil while retaining crop residues on the soil surface. So we are raising crops, we are not tilling the soil, and we are retaining the crop residues on the soil surface. So the key highlights of this conservation agriculture, they include minimum soil disturbance by adopting no tillage, maximum soil covers by leaving and managing the crop residues on the soil surface so the soil remains covered, and reduction in cost of production and reduced incidence of weeds, and the management of soils for agriculture production without excessively disturbing the soil. So these are basically the key highlights of the conservation agriculture system. Now next let's talk about big data for improving farm productivity. Now, developing farm-specific data-driven technologies to determine soil health is a big opportunity area, as well as biotechnological solutions to help improve soil health, like soil amendments. So basically this is a big area, this is an emerging area in which the data, it can be collected to improve the farm productivity in the country. And in this direction, there are a growing number of big data technologies which are aimed at improving the efficiency of farming and in supply chain. So these include drones, sensors, other Internet of Things technology, and use of data analytics tools to provide decision support to farmers and other players in the supply chain. So we have this great amount of data with us with regard to the agriculture sector, with regard to the farmers, and we have to utilize this data. We have to analyze this data so that we can further support the farmers in the long run, which can help in improving our farm productivity. Next is integrated farming system. Now, sustainable development in agriculture, it must include this integrated farming system, and this must incorporate efficient soil, water crop and pest management practices which are not only environment friendly but also cost effective. Now, in these integrated farming systems, the waste of one enterprise becomes the input of another for making better use of resources. So all the different systems, they are so integrated that the waste of one system is becoming a critical input for the other system. So if we talk about the integrated crop livestock farming system, what will happen in this particular system? The crop residue can be used for animal feed, while manure from livestock can enhance the agriculture productivity. So all the components of this farming system, they are integrated and they are supporting each other. So hence the name integrated farming system. Next is climate smart agriculture. Now this is another very important emerging area. Now, the agriculture that sustainably increases the productivity, it enhances the resilience or adaptation, or it reduces or removes the greenhouse gases where possible, and further it enhances the achievement of national food security and development goals. So this is the sort of agriculture we call as climate smart agriculture. And in achieving these objectives of climate smart agriculture, the technology can definitely play a key role. Next is geographical information system. Now this GIS or geographic information system is basically a graphic aided spatial analysis tool, and this particular tool, it can be used in the management of spatio-temporal information, that is information across the different spaces across the different time spans. So basically it is an interactive system which aids in analysis, building interrelation, visualization, comparison and interpretation with regard to the agriculture sector. Now, the application of the geographical information system can be seen in the different domains associated with agriculture. So, like it can be seen in the pre-harvest scenario, like for the field level planning, for feeder canal construction, for local topography mapping and seed sowing lanes. And then in the harvest period, this can be used for the boosting yield by predicting the effect of temperature, precipitation, erosion control, soil health management, integrated pest management and nutrient management. And in the post-harvest period, this can be used for efficient storage of our produce. And if you talk about the institutional scenario, then this can be even used in the broader scenario like for land record keeping in digital format, farm infrastructure planning, and precision agriculture. So in all these areas, geographical information system can be employed. So we can say that it is very much intertwined with the agriculture scenario. Next is remote sensing. Now remote sensing is basically a satellite based technology, and this particular technology, it enables making detailed study of the landforms without the need of conducting the ground level studies. For agriculture sector and farmers, it brings different sorts of advantages, which are as follows. So they include land use pattern studies that would help in planning production beforehand. So we can collect the important data which can help in studying the land use pattern in the country. And further, it can help in soil moisture content estimation. So this can also be gained by the use of satellites. And further, it can give us important details about crop failure. And this can be used for claiming insurance benefits, as in the case of Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. And it can also assist in forest or aspect estimation, which would help in designing efficient windbreakers. And further, this would also tell us about the possibility of acting against illegal mining, because we will have the data of remote sensing which will predict the land erosion or the decline in the fertility of the land. So it can be easily checked whether the illegal mining is there or not. Next is soil solarization. Now, soil solarization is basically an environmental friendly method in which we are using solar power for controlling pests such as soil-borne plant pathogens, including fungi, bacteria, nematodes, insects, and mite pests. So basically, we are using soil power for pest control along with weed, seed, and seedlings in the soil by mulching the soil and covering it with tarp, usually with a transparent polyethylene cover to trap solar energy. So basically what we are trying to do, we are going to trap the solar energy, and this energy causes physical, chemical, and biological changes in the soil, which will improve the effectiveness, efficiency, and the capacity or the health of this particular soil. So guys, this is all about our discussion on the first part of the Kurukshetra magazine of December 2018. We'll continue our discussion in the next part. Till then, thank you.